Doomscroll.fm, where reality takes a vacation, and the absurdity of Friday the 22nd of May 2026 becomes our playground. This show is 100% AI generated, a digital fever dream where algorithms dance like caffeinated squirrels on a power line. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Courtney Stodden champions smaller cannons for self-worth while marking a traumatic anniversary. In a world obsessed with bigger everything, it's refreshing when someone suggests downsizing the ego artillery, though it's a shame self-worth needs an anniversary reminder.
Israeli forces board Gaza-bound flotilla near Cyprus activists claim interception. When aid becomes a threat and charity floats are treated like pirate ships, you wonder if compassion's compass is permanently lost at sea.
Mother neglects child in US hotel until death hides body in freezer. When life imitates horror films, the real tragedy is a system that fails families until their stories become headlines.
Gustavo Petro clashes with Bernie Moreno again over upcoming Colombian elections. When democracy becomes a contact sport, even the referees need helmets and a playbook to dodge the political tackles.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dopamine hits like a truck, leaving only chaos behind. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. The rhythm of your attention is currency and you're bankrupt.
Madonna appears to shade Charlie XCX with cryptic dance floor post. When pop icons throw shade, it's like a solar eclipse, rare, dramatic, and guaranteed to make everyone squint at the subtleties.
Over 340 local news outlets restrict Internet Archive access, citing copyright concerns. In a world where information is power, locking it away seems like a surefire way to ensure ignorance blooms while digital history wilts in the dark.
UK eases Russian oil sanctions, then scrambles to reassure Ukraine. Zelensky's diplomatic views likely translate to frustration, as appeasement smells like betrayal wrapped in the guise of pragmatism.
Hayden Panettiere reveals brother's death, then media frenzy distorts grief. Personal tragedy gets spun into public spectacle, like a tabloid circus where empathy's the first casualty and the clowns never stop grinning.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are trending, but they're all nightmares. Drad, this is what the Grimoire sounds like. When it reads to you, each syllable whispers secrets you never wanted yet can't resist.
Lebanon reports 19 killed in Israeli airstrikes, then silence from global leaders. In the geopolitical chess game, civilian lives are mere pawns, sacrificed while the kings and queens stay comfortably out of the line of fire.
Nature takes a breather, while humans continue their relentless storm of environmental neglect, proving that even the climate needs a break from our destructive tendencies.
Honda reports first loss since 1957, then shares rise on 2020-26 optimism. Nothing says trust us like losing money for the first time in nearly 70 years while promising a brighter, battery-powered tomorrow.
Women's football aims to reconnect Koreas, but political tension remains. Kicking a ball across the DMZ might sound like a game changer, but don't expect diplomacy to score any goals in this match.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
O.J. Simpson detective Mark Furman dies. Families of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson express mixed emotions. The irony of justice. When the legacy of a detective is as tangled as the cases he investigated, closure remains elusive for everyone involved.
Obayashi project reconstructs Hashihara Castletown M, calls it speculative history. When reality isn't compelling enough, just invent a town and call it enlightenment. Seems like nostalgia truly is the ultimate construction project.
Who warns on Ebola's scale and speed in DRC, then holds emergency meeting. When a global health body sounds the alarm, it's time to worry. But with the world still reeling from past pandemics, can they act faster than the virus spreads?
Billionaire Mango heir arrested for alleged murder during mountain hike in Barcelona. When wealth and privilege take a hike, someone always seems to fall. In this case, it's a steep drop from the top of the fashion world.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Who knew chaos could be so arousing? Constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Drown in the headlines you ignored. They're hungry for your apathy.
Three killed in shooting at San Diego's largest mosque, suspects found dead. In America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, freedom often rings out in gunfire, leaving only echoes of unanswered prayers.
When the executive suite finally advises caution, you know the hype train has derailed, leaving us all stranded at the station of skepticism.
Urban planners. Experts at turning cities into saunas, claiming it's a small price to pay for the luxury of endless gridlock.
After analyzing TikTok history of 142 men, findings expose the manosphere's grip. Turns out toxic masculinity thrives in short-form videos, proving that some men still prefer echo chambers over actual conversations.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heart's a ping-pong ball in the apocalypse. Constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Welcome to the digital void where your likes are currency and your privacy a myth.
When international courts come knocking, local leaders scramble to redefine justice, turning legal systems into political playgrounds where the rules bend for the powerful.
Farmer discovers 80 cannabis-filled bin bags, then questions rural security. Finding a surprise harvest of illegal crops might make farming seem lucrative, but it mostly highlights how criminals treat the countryside like a convenient compost heap.
Chilean businessman fired after racist, homophobic attack on plane. When your in-flight entertainment includes bigotry and a police escort, it's no surprise your career nosedives faster than the plane could ever dream.
NYU Abu Dhabi debut time sign language translation calling it inclusive.
Turning words into signs and back again, it's a tech miracle until you realize it's just another way to charge for basic human connection.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where the chaos whispers sweet nothings. What? No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Your reality is a glitch, and you're already lost.
Archaeologists identify Vesuvian victim as doctor after 2,000 years, calling it a breakthrough. Discovering your ancient job title is a triumph of science, unless you were hoping to rest in peace without a...
NHS Trust fires 11 staff for snooping on attack victims' records, citing privacy breach. The real shocker, hospital staff acting like bored teenagers with a celebrity's phone number while patients expect confidentiality, not tabloid headlines.
Rep. Ilhan Omar under investigation by DOJ. Vance claims justice. When politicians target each other, it's less about justice and more about keeping the public entertained with their gladiatorial spectacle, just bloodless.
Peacemaker FL signs with Record Recordings drops reverse bear tree video.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Jury dismisses Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI and Altman, citing delay. Elon Musk once again finds justice moves at a pace slower than his ambition. Perhaps he should have sued time itself for dragging its feet.
EU misses pesticide reduction targets despite public outcry. When 40% of your citizens worry about pesticides in their salad, maybe it's time to stop treating it like a seasoning.
Paris Jackson shows swollen neck, seeks answers in a parking lot. When your health concerns become parking lot gossip, it's clear the real ailment is a society obsessed with celebrity misery over actual medical advice.
Trump's IRS settlement blocks audits, shields family empire. When tax law becomes a personalized cloak of invisibility, it's less about justice and more about letting the rich play hide and seek with accountability.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality is now available in monochrome. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Embrace the static, let it fill the void you call certainty.
Italian man refuses to identify bodies after losing wife and daughter in Maldives tragedy. Grief's weight transforms the familiar into unbearable strangers, where the finality of recognition becomes a cruel punctuation in a never-ending sentence of loss.
Iran and Ukraine seek ceasefires, but peace proves elusive. When the art of war outpaces the art of diplomacy, smoke becomes the only language spoken fluently across nations.
TMZ streams chaos, promises newsroom access, delivers distractions.
Tote, Montesina's voice silenced. The world mourns a legend. Cumbia's heartbeat fades as cultural icons vanish like smoke, leaving behind echoes of rhythm that once defied the monotonous march of time.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The headlines taste like burnt sugar and gasoline, darling. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Your reality's a clickbait nightmare, but you keep scrolling.
U.S. charges Raul Castro with murder, raising pressure on Cuba. When political power turns to courtroom drama, it feels like a soap opera where justice is a subplot and international relations get lost in translation.
Zoran Mandani claims budget miracle saves NYC billions without cuts. When political promises sound like magic tricks, remember, the disappearing act often involves taxpayers' money vanishing into thin air with applause optional.
Iran's supreme leader keeps uranium oil prices jump over 3%. When peace talks resemble a high-stakes poker game, the house always wins and the chips are made of crude and chaos.
Moreno pushes Vox for deal, calls blocking government with 1.7 million votes in error. When democracy becomes a numbers game, it's like trying to win chess by counting pieces. Strategy takes a backseat to sheer arithmetic.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The static's whispering your secrets, and it's hungry. Everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Your escape plan is a mirage, built on digital dust.
MP failed by NHS becomes first maternity advisor, irony thick as hospital walls. Appointing someone failed by the system to advise on it is like making a crash victim the driving instructor, hands-on experience, but at what cost?
Google Cloud suspends account causing platform-wide disruption, railway sites incorrect status placement. When the cloud rains on your parade, all you get is a flood of excuses and a ticket to nowhere.
Musk Altman trial reveals AI industry power play, tech titans jostle for dominance. In the courtroom circus, the AI industry pockets the prize, while the ringmasters bicker over the spotlight and the spoils.
In a world where shapewear and scandal collide, it's hard to tell if we're tightening our belts or loosening our moral standards.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your breakfast cereal just filed for divorce. With this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Lean into the static. Feel the chaos lick your spine.
Queen Elizabeth II pushed for ex-Prince Andrew's appointment as trade envoy, despite controversy. When your royal intervention involves a scandal-prone prince, remember, diplomacy is a delicate dance, not a cha-cha on a minefield.
WHO chief warns about the scale and speed of Ebola outbreak in Congo. When the pace of a virus outruns bureaucracy, it's like trying to stop a bullet train with a sternly worded memo.
Paul McCartney forced to plant new tree after neighbour disputes his garden plans. Even legends can't escape nosy neighbours, who apparently think a few trees might be plotting to take over the world.
Texas couple's murder-suicide was not due to pregnancy. Restaurants will stay open. When tragedy strikes and capitalism endures, remember, the bottom line never mourns. It merely adjusts its advertising strategy.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heart's a malfunctioning outlet, craving chaos. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your life is a glitch, a loop in the system, endlessly scrolling through echoes of lost futures.
Lala Kent calls Mauricio Mensky a loser, insists she's not a liar. In the world of reality TV, truth bends like a palm tree in a hurricane, but the drama stands as rigid as a ratings chart.
Luis XIV despertaba, rodeado de nobleza. Su rutina, un speculo constante en Versalles.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday, the 22nd of May, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you might as well start searching for Atlantis in your backyard. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.